it's Nicole Schulte. I'm going to be playing part of Home by Cave Town for this week's Youth Challenge as Hidden Talents, and I hope you guys enjoy. Often I am upset that I cannot fall in love, but I guess this voice is stressed of falling out of it. Are you tired of me yet? I'm a little sick right now, but I swear when I'm ready I'll fly us out of here. Ooh, cut my hair. Ooh, to make you stare. Hide my dress and I'll figure out a way to get us out of here.
Yeah, I bet you guys know I'm pretty good at football. Dang, jeez. And I'm also pretty dang fast, like that. That was fast. And I'm also pretty good at video games, like that.
Let's go!
I just got an
Easy
snipe
dubs!
for a dub.
But what I bet that you guys don't know is that I'm good at card tricks. Alright, I'm going to show you a magic trick because that's what I'm good at. So, the top card, as you can see, is the 7. We're going to put it on the bottom, and if we snap our fingers, it comes back to the top. But look, again, what's even cooler is if we take it again, it changes to the 7 of diamonds, but put that on top, snap, and it's back to the 7.
Hi, I'm Layla. I'm self-taught on the clarinet, so here's the first one. And then the next song is the siren from Frozen 2, so here we go. Thanks for watching. Bye!
Hi, I'm Madison, and my hidden talent is playing ukulele.
I'm doing the Hidden Talents Challenge for this week, and I have 10 impressions prepared of random characters that you may or may not know. Here we go. Mario from Mario Brothers. It's a me. It's a me, Mario. Woohoo! Oh yeah, let's go. Mario time. Luigi from Mario Brothers. Let's go. Woohoo! Oh yeah. Mamma mia, Luigi time. Wario from Mario Brothers. Wah, ah, ah. It's a me, Wario. Wah, ah, 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 ah. Waluigi from Mario Brothers. Let's go. Woohoo! Oh yeah. Waluigi time. Donkey Kong from Donkey Kong Country. Yo-hey! Kermit the Frog. Hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here. Someday I'll find it. A rainbow connection. Yoshi from Mario Brothers. Yoshi. Buzz Lightyear from Toy Story. To infinity and beyond. Simon Cowell from America's Got Talent. I didn't like it. I loved it. And I think that's all my impressions.
There was a time I was alone, nowhere to go and no place to call home. My only friend was the man of the moon. Even sometimes he would go away too. In one night as I closed my eyes, I saw a shadow flying high. Came with me the sweetest smile, told me one time for a while. He said, Peter Pan, that's what they call me. Promise I will never be lonely. Ever since that day, I am a lost boy from Neverland. You're hanging out with your pet. The boy will play in the woods, always on a run from Captain Hook. Run, run, lost boy, they say to me. Away from all of reality.
My hidden talent is having a contagious smile. And if you thought that was funny, I guess I'm a comedian too. If you smiled at that, I mean, I didn't even smile and you smiled, so it was pretty good, I guess. There's like different types of smiles, obviously. Like the one that like perfect teeth, you know? No, that's not very contagious. It's not very funny. The grin, the I'm faking smiling. But the real, like the most perfect contagious smile there is this one.
Oh, hey guys. I'm Ashton from Valley Life Toronto. Those of you who are new, I just want to welcome you guys to Valley Life. And those of you who have been coming for a while and returning, I want to welcome you guys back. We have a lot of fun stuff today, so I would stick around if I were you. So, let's get started.
Hey, what's up, Valley Life Youth? My name's Tyler Tooley, and I'm the youth director over at Valley Life Surprise. I'm super pumped to be here tonight and start our second sermon on Crossroads. It's going to be super awesome. And guess what? If you're new today, I'm super pumped that you're here. Let us know in the comments. And also, if you're new, Matt doesn't know this yet, but he'll deliver you a pizza for free. So make sure you put it down there, and that'll just be a thank you for coming tonight. Also, I just want to let you know that if you've been coming, hey, go invite your friends. Thanks for coming tonight. We're going to have a ton of fun tonight, and family groups is going to be killer. So let's go ahead and get started real quick. Last week, Matt talked about that no matter who we are or what we've done, God accepts us. He accepts us no matter what, at our best, at our worst. Right now, He accepts you. It doesn't need to be a better version of you or anything. So also, we learned that no matter what lies the world tells us, that we're good enough, that we're smart enough, we are beautiful, and we are God's sons and daughters and God's masterpiece. So that was a little bit of what Matt talked about last week. Also, last week, we had Kaylee Vance do an awesome worship session with us, and it was fantastic. One of the awesome things I'm super pumped up about is Kaylee is now the youth worship leader, and she's leading up or training up other leaders to help lead her in worship or lead us in worship. And so tonight, it's going to be super awesome because we have Reagan joining Kaylee as they're going to lead us in worship. Last week, Kaylee did a fantastic song on Who You Say I Am. And these are some of the words. in that song. It says, I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. So I just want you guys to know that that when we go out in our day-to-day lives, we just need to keep that constant reminder in our heart and our mind that, hey, we are who God says we are, and we're his hands and feet down here. It's our mission to go tell our friends about the gospel. So I want you guys to be on mission. And also, what we're going to get into today is going to be commit and how God is committed to us, and we're going to break that down and see what that looks like. So before we get started, I'm just going to go ahead and pray, and we'll go ahead and get started. Dear Lord, I just want to pray and thank you for all the volunteers and all the youth that are here tonight, Lord. I just pray that you'd use me as a tool, Lord, to tell these youth about you. And I pray that they'll be able to get, even if it's one little thing out of this, that they can use in their life and use in their week and go and tell their friends about you and know that you are committed to us, Lord, more than anyone else in this entire world. I pray that you'd help us through these trying and hard times. We have coronavirus, and we don't know if it's all the way gone yet. We also have these riots and stuff, Lord. I just pray that you'd give us all peace and you'd give us all safety and help us to know that you are still in control, Lord. I love you, Lord. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right, y'all. So the first verse we're going to get into is Romans 8:9. It says, you, however, are not in the flesh, but in the Spirit, if in fact the Spirit of God dwells in you. Anyone who does not have the Spirit of Christ does not belong to him. So what does it mean to be committed? So I just want to shoot you off a couple Webster dictionary definitions of commitment. So right here it says a promise to do or give something. Commitment is a promise to be loyal to someone or to something, and the attitude of someone who works very hard to do or support something. I think it's hard to think about like God is such a committed person because we're in this world right now that he's committed to us, because we're in this world that's such a throwaway world. It's such an upgradable society, and I'll get into more of what that is in a little bit, but here's a couple quick examples. Like I had a student come up to me last year and they're like, hey, like I really want some AirPods. And I was like, oh man, that's awesome. Like I just got some for Christmas, and it was awesome. So maybe it was this year they said that, but anyways, they're like, hey, I have to have the real AirPods, because I told them about this, like the faux pods. They're like $30 or $40 and you can get them online. They look just like them. And they're like, no, like kids will make fun of me at school if I don't have the AirPods. So like that is one of the upgradable things in society. Like we can't have just the coolest headphones. We got to have the next cool thing. And we're trying to always keep up with the Joneses. Same thing with gaming. So I know a lot of you are gamers, and it's not just satisfying to sit on a video game console and just play on the Xbox or PlayStation anymore. People are moving up to virtual reality. Like they have to have these headsets that makes them feel like they're in the game. So it's another upgrade that we're having in this society, where we feel like, oh man, I got to be next level. I have to have this next thing to satisfy me. And we're not committed to the old system. Like we're not playing the old system. It's not good enough for us anymore. So another example would be social media. Like I don't know if any of you guys ever had Facebook. I still have Facebook. I'm probably like the only one on here that has Facebook. But same thing with Twitter. I think that's going away. Maybe you guys are still tweeting. I never even started tweeting, but also Snapchat. And then I know what's real big right now is like Instagram and TikTok. Like you guys are all over that. And if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be on that. So I love being able to see your stories and stuff, but that is one thing how, hey, like we're upgrading. We're going to TikTok. That's the next cool thing. We're going to Instagram. That's the next cool thing. It's not about Facebook and Twitter and Snapchat anymore. So that's just how our society is going. It progresses like that. And we're not committed to one social platform. We're not committed to one thing. And we'll get into more examples later. But I do want to tell you about personal examples in my life. So my papaw, he about 15 years ago decided, hey, it's time for me to build my retirement home. He wanted to go up in the mountains, secluded place. He lives up there now, but he doesn't have like anyone for like a mile. And so he started building this house. And as soon as he started building this house, he got cancer, and it was really, really bad, and we didn't know if he was going to make it. And he fought this cancer for like 7 or 8 years, and he would get almost to where it's all gone, or it would be gone, and then bam, it would come back to him. And he stayed committed on that house. And that was just one thing that blew my mind, is even through his chemo treatments, he literally would drive. It was 2.5 hours away from where he lived. He would drive up there to go and work on that house for one day. And it was, so 2.5 hours there, 2.5 hours back, and he was there for like 8 hours working, and then he'd drive back that night or something. And it was crazy how he did that constantly to try to make this house for him and my mamaw. So I thought it was super cool that he was committed to that, and now they're living up there. So, and then another example would be my wife, Judy. She's an awesome person, and anyway, she grew up with this table in her house. Her grandparents lived with her, and her grandparents gave her parents this table. And then when we moved out, this table was passed down to her. And this table is like made in like the 60s or 70s, and it is not a pretty table. But anyways, like you can't even refinish it to make it look good. So a couple years ago, we did what everyone in America does with the Upgradable Society. We go and got a new table. And one of the things I was like, sweet, now we can get this out of the garage, make more room. And she told me like, no, we can't get rid of this. This is my grandparents' table. And so she has so many memories to that table. Her grandpa has now passed away, and so that table it's valuable to her. So we're not going to get rid of it. And that was just another example of commitment. She's committed to keeping that table. So committing to something is just sticking to something for a long time. And we want the latest and we want the greatest nowadays. We want the new, whatever's in the new. And we live in an upgradable society like we were talking about earlier. But how many of you guys, just take a second and think about this. How many of you guys have went through 2 or 3 phones, and you guys are like still in high school. Some of you guys don't even have phones yet, but like in my lifetime, I'm 27 years old, and I probably went through like 8 phones, and I didn't get a phone till I was like 13 or 14. So I almost go through like a phone a year or a phone and a half a year. So think about that. How many phones have you gone through? And usually the old phones, it's old technology, no one wants it, so we just throw it away. That's where we get the throwaway society that we're in today. It's throwawayable. Same thing with a TV. You guys know the tube TVs back in the day. The tube TVs were like something that was super, it was like new technology, man, color TV back in like the 70s, right? Well, I grew up on a tube TV playing video games, and it was a ton of fun. But nowadays, you can't even give those things away. You can't give them away for free over at Goodwill, pawn shops, nothing. They just don't take them. They're like, hey, go shoot them up or go throw them in the garbage. Like, we don't want them. So now you got these flat screen TVs, like 50-inch TV is like an average TV nowadays, but like now they have the curved TVs, and everyone's always upgrading, always getting the next thing. They're only sticking with it for like a year or two. It's just they don't have a commitment to that kind of stuff. So because we live in this upgradable society, commitment becomes a strange concept. It's super weird. So my wife's favorite show is America's Next Top Model. So I don't know if you guys seen that, but it's I don't really like to watch it with her, but I do sometimes, to please her or whatever. But when we watch it, what the story or what the whole show is about, it's about getting the newest clothing, like the newest clothing line, whether it's the newest dress. They like make this thing in like 24 hours, and then boom, they go and show it on the runway. Well, the thing is they call it America's Next Top Models because every year they're trying to improve it. Like they're not satisfied. They're not committed to, hey, that dress last year was super cool. They're not committed to that. They want to move on to the next coolest thing. And then we got these things like if you go to the store and you see this tube of toothpaste, let's say you've seen this Colgate toothpaste on the shelf for like 10 years and it never changed. Like you're gonna quit getting it. Like you might get it for the first year or two, but then when you see something beside it that says like Colgate Total, brand new, whatever, and you're gonna be like, man, look at that, it's got brighter colors, it's cool. And the only thing they really have to do to change it is just put new on it. Like they could maybe change the color, change the way the tube looks, but it's toothpaste. It's basically gonna do the same thing. And anyways, so it just shows us that our eyes and everything, it moves towards the new stuff. What's in the new, what is cool nowadays. So the lack of commitment is just, it's huge in our society. And here's a couple real life examples that might be hard to hear, but the average person will have 7 to 10 careers in their lifetime. I don't know if you guys knew that, but like my grandma, when she grew up, like when she was 20 years old, she got a job at this denim factory, right? And basically like I think they made jeans or they made denim that they sent out to companies that would make jeans and jackets with it or whatever. But she worked at that place for like 35, 40 years and then retired there. You don't hear, it's unheard of. You don't do that. No one does that anymore. They have 7 to 10 career fields that they end up going throughout their life. And it's because everyone's trying to hit that next milestone. Everyone's trying to make that next buck. Everyone's trying to have the next cooler job or the easier job that makes the most amount of money or something. It's whatever their agenda is. But that's the thing is we're not committed to one thing. And then also there's another stat out there that 8,300 students. Well, let's stop there. What if I tell you that 8,300 students drop out per year of high school? Does that shock you? 8,300 students? I hear that, I'm like, dang, that sucks. But what it really is 8,300 students drop out per day, not year, per day. That means over 100,000 students, probably over millions of students are dropping out of high school every single year. There's no commitment. Our society has no commitment. And so here's another thing is marriage. Marriages fail 4 out of 10 times. 40% of marriages end in divorce. And then usually what happens is they'll go get in another marriage. And guess what? The second marriage, 62% failure. 62% divorce rate. It goes up 22% for the second marriage. And then when you move to the third marriage, it goes up another 9% to 71%, which is 7 out of 10 of the third marriages, they end in divorce. There's no commitment these days, y'all. But Jesus, our God, commits to us. He is so committed to us, and I want to tell you more about that. Our world just lacks a commitment, and our world is it's a what have you done for me world lately. They like everyone. It's just a selfish mentality. But God is committed to us, and we should give it up to Him. Our world is just focused on the next big thing, and we need to focus on God. We need to focus on God. So our God is not like our world. Isaiah 55:8 says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are my ways your ways. Neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord." So His thoughts and ways are full of wisdom and commitment. We are rebels at heart. I'm a rebel at heart. I want to go do my own thing. But we think that we know best, and that's just not the case. God knows best. He has superior thoughts. He has superior wisdom because He is God. So Jesus is committed to you, and I know this is going to be kind of hard to hear for some of you guys, but I want you guys to know that no matter what, He is committed to you. And here's a couple things. You might be a child whose parents went through a bad divorce, and then maybe you're someone whose parents went through a bad divorce, and one of their parents abandoned them and just left them and hasn't had any communication with them. And that is so sad and so horrible. What I want to tell you is Jesus will not abandon you. Jesus will stay committed to you no matter what. I don't care what you do. He is committed to you. Also, you might be a student who's currently in a foster home, or maybe you're just moving around houses, or you just don't have a steady schedule, or you don't know where you're going to be because you're not in control of that. And those people's jobs are just to have a place for you to sleep and a place for you to eat. And so there's no commitment there. No one's committed to you. And what I want to tell you is that God is there and He's committed to you. So our God is always there. He was always there previously. He's always there now, and He will always be completely and totally committed to you. And so in Genesis 1:2, it says, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters." And right there, it's showing us that God was there in the beginning. He was there in the past. And this verse right here, John 1:1-5, is going to tell us how He was here now, how He is here now. "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through Him, and without Him was not anything made that was made." So basically what that's saying is without God, nothing would be here. Like we wouldn't be here. The buildings that we're in, the houses we live in, they would not be here. Nothing would be here without God. "In Him was life, and the life was the light of men. The light shines." It doesn't say shined like previously or is going to shine. It says shines like it's happening currently. "In the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome." And then here's how God is here in the future. It tells us in Revelation. It says, in Revelation 21:1-4, "Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth for the first time. And the first earth had passed away, and the sea was no more. And I saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, 'Behold, the dwelling place of God is with man. He will dwell with them, and they will be His people. And God Himself will be with them as their God. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death shall be no more. Neither shall there be mourning, nor crying, nor pain anymore, for the former things have passed away.'" So God's saying right here, He is going to bring heaven to earth, and He is going to be there with us, and that there's going to be no more pain. There's going to be no more coronavirus, no more riots. All this is going to be gone. He's going to wipe it away. So if you look through the entire Bible, throughout the entire course of human history, you can see that God has always been committed to man. So you can see he was there in the garden with Adam and Eve when Adam and Eve sinned. Even after they sinned, he was still there, and he was checking in on them like, hey guys, like, I'm sorry you did this, but like, you got to get out of here. God was still there with them, and he was there with them after they were kicked out of the garden. Also, you can see it there with Noah. Noah was getting, picked at and made fun of because God said, hey, you need to build an ark. There's going to be a huge flood, and you're going to need to get 2 of every animal and put them on this ark. And God gave him perfect dimensions and everything. And these people just mocked Noah. And you know what he did? Noah listened and obeyed God, and God was with him the whole time. God was committed to Noah. Also, he was there committed to Joseph. Joseph's brothers sold him into slavery. They were going to kill him, and someone passed by, and they were buying slaves up, and they're like, hey, let's just sell him. Let's just sell him. And you want to know why? Because Joseph was his father's favorite. His father gave him this coat of many colors that meant a whole lot. And his brothers were jealous, so they sold him into slavery. It ends up later on in the story that Joseph ends up saving his family from famine. Like, he ends up having dreams, and he stored food with this other nation that he was with, and his family came to that nation needing food later. And he was the reason that their family was able to live through that. He was there with Moses. So Moses told Pharaoh, hey, let my people go. And how nerve-wracking that had to be to go and tell like the Pharaoh of a nation, say, hey, look, dude, I don't care who you are. You need to let my people go. He could have been killed. He could have been put into slavery as well. But he trusted God, and God was committed to Moses throughout that whole time. And then also you see it with Joshua as Joshua has his army, and God says, hey, if you want to beat this nation, these bad guys, you need to go march around their city. And Joshua's probably like, what? All right, well, God said do it, so let's go do it. And then they end up marching around the city. They blow their trumpets, and boom, the walls come down, and they're victorious. They win. And then God was there with Samson when Samson was going through the wilderness, and this big lion comes out. And Samson ends up having the strength to be able to basically defeat this lion all by himself, barehanded. And that was because God was there with him. God was committed to him. And then he got put into jail, basically. And God came down. It says the Lord came down and took the handcuffs off of him, basically. And so he was freed, and then Samson was able to get out of there and take care of himself. So then you have God was there and committed to David and Goliath. When he went to go up against this big giant, there's no way he could have beat him. He had a rock and he had a sling. And this rock was probably like the size of his eyeball or something. And he slings this rock at this giant, and boom, God was committed to David. He was with him the whole time. And then you have Daniel who wouldn't go down, and he wouldn't worship false gods. He said, no, I'm only going to worship the God of Abraham, the real one and true God. So he got thrown into the lion's den. And what'd God do? God basically let the lions be his pillow. He got to hang out with them all night long. And then the next morning, everyone's like, oh my goodness, this guy's real. His God's real. And then they let him out. Then you have Esther. Esther, who she was married to King Xerxes, who was the king of a Persian empire, and this guy named Haman was going to wipe out all the Jews, which was her background. That was where she was from, and she told the king, hey, he's about to do this horrible act. Don't let him do it. And she had the courage that God gave her because God was committed and with Esther. And also God was there with Nehemiah, as Nehemiah went and boldly told the king, hey, I know this isn't our nation, but my nation where I'm from, their walls just got shattered. They're being defeated. Can I please go over there, and can I go help build their walls up for protection? So the king goes and helps Nehemiah, gives him everything he needs. And then he was there with Mary and Joseph, as Mary and Joseph were trying to find a place to stay so they can keep baby Jesus safe when they have baby Jesus. And then afterwards, like, God was there and committed to them and helping them. He was there with Peter and Paul, as Peter and Paul were being persecuted, put in jail, and then crucified. And Paul, we don't know exactly what happened, but he was probably beheaded or killed somehow from being in jail and because they were telling people the gospel. So what I want to know, or what I want to tell you, is that he is here with you, and he's here with me. Our God is just he's not an upgrade God. He's not looking for the better version of you. He wants you as you are. He's completely committed to you right now. And that commitment looks like a constant invitation for you to believe in him. In Revelations 3:20, it says, behold, I stand at the door and I knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come into him and eat with him and he with me. And so this reminds me, the dude's, God is there in our hearts, and he's just knocking. Let me in, let me in. This reminds me of a story. Back when I was a kid, this guy named Greg, he was my friend, and somehow me and my brother, we got grounded to our room, which had a PlayStation. So I was like, sweet. So we played games all day, right? Well, Greg comes over, and he's knocking on our door. Bang, 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 bang. My dad opens. He's like, yeah, kids can't come and play, man. Sorry. Okay, 30, 45 minutes later, Greg comes. hey, can Tyler or Logan come out to play? No, they can't come out to play, man. Sorry. In fact, they're not gonna be able to come out to play all day. And he's like, oh man. Well, then he comes and knocks on our window because he could, we were on first level. So he's like, hey guys, what are you doing? Oh, we're playing the game. Sorry, we're grounded. But we had this little hole in our screen. It was about the size of like a $50. And so we ended up opening up that hole and slipped him a remote controller, and we played video games with him for like 30 minutes. And of course, we got caught and got in a lot of trouble. But the fact is that Greg was committed to come and play with us. And I'm telling you, our God is so much more committed than that. He is so much more committed to than that. So in a world where commitment is a foreign concept, our God will always be committed to his people. So his commitment to us is not just like is not contingent on our success. It doesn't matter if you get A's, or it doesn't matter if you're on honor roll, or you're the captain of the football team, the president of the student council, or valedictorian. It doesn't. None of that matters. That he's committed to us no matter what. And that's what we learned in our lesson last week, is that all of our dirty laundry and all, he takes it all, and we just have to lay it at his feet. So how committed is he? Committed enough to give his one and only son for you. John 3:16 says, for God so loved the world that he gave his only son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have eternal life. And what did that look like? What did that commitment look like? Jesus was arrested for crimes that he did not commit. He was betrayed by one of his closest friends. Jesus was unlawfully tried and found guilty. Jesus was beaten, mocked, and spit on. Jesus was made to wear a crown of thorns and forced to carry his own cross. Jesus was nailed to that cross, and Jesus was stripped and crucified. Golly, that sounds horrible, but the worst part hasn't even came yet. The worst part is right here, where Jesus took on all of the sins of the world, all of them, every sin committed. And Jesus, who never committed a single sin his entire life, not one cuss word, not one dirty thought, not one moment of giving into temptation like we do on a daily basis, he took on all the sin of the world. And then God poured out all his wrath and anger from our sins, from your sins, from my sins, onto Jesus. And for the first time since the beginning of time, as Jesus became sin, God turned his back on his one and only son, Jesus. And right before Jesus died on that cross, he said, it is finished. It is finished. What I want to tell you is there's power in the name of Jesus. And I like to think that I'm committed to you guys. I like to think that I love spending time with you, because I do. And I love you guys so much. And Judy and I pray for you guys every single week. I genuinely care about you. But this is a picture right here of my son, Cashton. Man, this kid is awesome. He's hilarious. Funny, jokester, prankster, whatever you want to say. He's loving and kind, at least most of the time. But what I want to tell you is it doesn't matter who you are. I would not sacrifice my son right there for you. And I love you guys. I love you guys so much. But if it ever came down to it was either you or my son, I couldn't do it. I'd pick my son every single time. I would choose him every time. And what I'm saying is God sent his son. He looked at his son, and when it came down to you or his only son, he picked you. He picked you and sacrificed his son. God chose to save you and sacrifice Jesus. That is how committed our God is to you. And in a world where commitment seems strange, the cross still represents God's amazing commitment to you and me. And knowing that God was so committed that he gave his one and only son, what would it take for you to truly commit your life to him? Can you believe in him today? If today you've never prayed this prayer, you've never accepted Jesus in your life and you would like to, I want to invite you to pray this with me. Jesus, I'm a sinner and I'm sorry. I can't save myself. I need you to save me. And thank you so much for dying in my place for my sins. And I believe in your life, death, and resurrection. Please save me, Jesus. In your name I pray, amen. And what I want to say is if you are, or if you have believed in him and you are a Christian, but you've not taken that step to get baptized, will you do that? Will you take that step and commit to Jesus by getting baptized today? Or talking to your leader in your family group to get baptized here soon? Or if you've been baptized, can you commit by truly following Jesus and obeying his commands? Can you go out and tell your friends? Throw away I'm nervous. I mean, everyone gets nervous, but we're on a mission here. And we got to tell our friends about Jesus because God is committed to us. So let's be committed to him. The commitment that Jesus has for you, it will never, ever happen again. I've been married to my wife for 11 years this month, in about a week. And as much as she loves me, there's no way she's committed to me as much as Jesus is committed to me. And he has total commitment and love to us no matter how bad you screw up. I don't care what you do. Jesus doesn't care what you do. He is committed. He is committed. Nobody has ever been or will ever be as committed to you as Jesus. So will you commit your life to him today? What I want to do is I want to go ahead and close this prayer, and we'll jump into family group. Dear Lord, I just thank you for this day. I thank you for being able to get together and all come together online and just be able to hear a word from you, Lord. And I just pray that in family group we'll be able to have awesome open Bible, open lives conversation, and that we'll be able to get down and see if we're not committed or we're not fully in, why is that? And if we are fully committed, maybe share some experience or stories with our friends who aren't there yet to be able to encourage them. I love you, Lord. I love you a lot. And I just pray for all these students. I pray that the ones that aren't saved, that you would save them, Lord. And I pray for this nation that you would heal it. I pray for this world that you would heal it, Lord, and that we would go out and we would continue to make disciples in your name. Amen.
You heard my first heartbeat before I could breathe, before my first cry. You knew me. You knit me together when I was conceived, when I was
Hey, what's up everyone? Matt and Dom here. Ashton Alvarado won the sandwich challenge last week, and so we're here today to recreate his sandwich, and our goal is to eat all of it. So Ashton, thank you for doing this. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, here we go. So we got our soggy bread. It is very wet. I soaked the plate, poured water over it.
Trust me, mine's wet. Mine's real wet.
All right, what are you gonna go with first, Dom? We've got all these incredible ingredients.
Well, I think I'm gonna spread my guac on my bread first.
I think I'm gonna do tartar on one bread, guac on one.
That's smart. I think I might do that too.
Okay. Oh, you have strong fingers. Oh, God.
There you go.
It's because I work out. See that, Linnell?
Ooh. I like guacamole.
I love tartar.
I don't think I like tartar. I'm actually not sure. But I'm hoping this guacamole masks the taste of everything else. It's those sardines I'm scared of.
Oh, the sardines are gonna be so good. Oh, look at that. That enough?
That's plenty.
All right. Trick to making a good sandwich is you have to get edge to edge covering, okay? Edge to edge. All right, let me have some of that lovely guac.
I don't get those people that make sandwiches that are just dry.
Oh, dry sandwiches are the worst. But thanks to Ashton, ours is not gonna be dry.
At all, even without the guacamole or the tartar.
Very
You know what? Tartar sauce smells good.
wet.
I think I'll be fine.
Oh, tartar's so good. Just think of French fries as you eat this.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, it smells like pickles. I like that.
I think I got enough guac. What else do we got here? Oh, dog treats.
I like how. Oh my gosh.
We've got maple, bacon, and blueberry flavored dog treats.
How many are you putting on there?
Dude, all right. I was like flexing earlier because saying I work out, but like,
I got that.
can you take?
Maybe. Oh no, this is on there.
If you use your mouth to like rip it, I won't judge you.
I don't even think I could do that.
2 hours later.
Oh, I'm gonna put some turkey on it.
Oh, these smell good. Oh yeah. All
They
right.
actually don't smell bad. Are you regretting doing that?
Oh, dog treats are baller.
They actually smell good.
I'm gonna do 2. All right. Yeah. Okay, so
They don't really taste like anything.
dog treats. Thank you, Ashton. Again, thank you, Ashton.
Yeah, thanks, Ashton.
Oh no!
What happened?
The handy dandy knife is coming back out.
Alright, I'm gonna put some turkey on here.
I gotta clean that knife afterwards.
Oh, I did the same thing in mine.
Well. Ooh, those are big sardines.
Oh,
Will Dom throw up? Stay tuned. to
dude,
find
I
out.
can't do sardines.
I think your brother knew that. Yeah.
Oh my, those look just.
Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
So one.
Dude,
I'm so excited for this.
I'm trying to make sure I mask the taste of the sardines.
You can't, man. It's fish.
I'm trying my best.
I'm just saying, if I worked at a sandwich shop, this would be fire. I'd be
This is the. What is the special for today?
sardine, dog food,
What are we missing? Oh, it's just the sand, huh?
lemon.
Oh, and the lemon.
Lemon. All right. So, gonna get a little lemon.
We didn't bring napkins, huh? I don't want to lick my fingers.
You probably should. You should probably just. We got some sand right here. So,
That's a lot of lemon juice I just put on there.
look at that. It's enough
The
sand.
sand. Why the sand though?
All right, Ashton Alvarado. My stomach is upset, and I haven't even taken a bite.
Okay, I licked my fingers and it wasn't terrible.
But now you have sand everywhere. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Thank you, Ashton, for. Oh man, I don't know if you can see that, but that is like.
Dude, I'm already joking.
All right.
We have to eat. I'm not gonna eat the whole thing.
That is horrific.
No, dude, no.
You better start biting. At least you got spicy. He ain't gonna make it. You got this. Mind over matter. The sand gives a little extra, little extra crunch.
I'm growing. I can't swallow it.
You got this. For Ashton. For the youth. Alright, bite number 3.
3. I'm only on 1.
I'm definitely into these sardines. And it's not that bad. I think the tartar sauce masks it.
Don't do that.
This is for y'all.
Oh, don't ever be a youth intern ever.
No, you should. It's 100% worth it.
Oh, I'm crying.
Well, it's the sand. The sand against my teeth is just gross. I should have bought napkins too.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I put a lot of sand in mine.
What if I didn't press record?
I would hate you. I would leave.
Oh, it's so good, y'all. Look at this piece of sardine.
Dude, you are so far. Okay,
Oh.
I gotta catch up.
You want ketchup?
No. I just looked at it. Don't look at the sandwich. Don't look at the inside. Oh my god.
I'm almost there.
I'm not.
All right, that's it.
I got like half of it. That's pretty good.
Pretty good. Well, if you want to... Again, thank you, Ashton. Yeah, this was wonderful.
Hey Valley Life Youth, this week's challenge is called the Straight Leg Challenge. Basically, you're gonna lay flat on your back, get either a cup or bottle of water, you're gonna put it between your feet, and then you wanna raise your feet straight up and try to pour the water directly in your mouth while you're laying on the ground. Here's a quick video showing what it's like. Good luck.